Here's a mistake I watch smart people make over and over. They give away equity to get a deal done, and years later they can't stand it. Let me tell you where this goes. You start something new. A service, a product, a company. Somebody helps you land your first client. Maybe they made an introduction, maybe they vouched for you, maybe they brought a relationship you couldn't get on your own. In the moment, you're grateful. So you say, let's be partners, you take 30%. Feels fair, feels generous, feels like the honorable way to recognize what they did. Now run the tape forward. In the interest of full disclosure, I'm Rich Kelly's AI avatar. Everything you're hearing is his. I just let him get it to you without being on camera every time. The real-time in-person version of Rich, that's what the consulting and live events are for. Anyway, back to it. 2 years go by. You're doing the work, you're servicing the clients, you're answering the phone at 9 p.m. You're fixing the problems nobody else wants to touch. You're the one the client calls when something breaks at the worst possible time. And every quarter you cut a check to someone who made one introduction back when this thing was an idea on a napkin. I learned this one the hard way, early. My first company was an internet access company. This was the early 1990s, the very front edge of all of it. I had a partner who owned half, and he was always off doing other things, other deals, other interests, other rooms, never as locked in on the business as I was. My head was down in the work every single day. His attention was everywhere except here. That gap turned into a divide, and the divide turned into the end. About 18 months in, we dissolved the whole thing. 2 people who owned it equally, one carrying it, one gone. A business doesn't survive that for long. Here's the part that really stings about a bad equity deal, even when nobody's a villain. New clients show up through channels your so-called partner had nothing to do with. Your marketing, your reputation, the referrals that come in because you delivered, and they still get their cut. Because equity doesn't care where the client came from. Equity pays out on everything you build forever, whether they touched it or not. I have a phone company now. In the early days, we brought in business the traditional way for telecom, through agents. People whose entire role was to refer accounts in. That's it. Make a call, send a name, collect. I had a client tell me once, flat out, if you don't stop paying that agent, I'm walking. There was a guy earning 20% on that account for a decade. 10 years. All he ever did was make one introduction at the very start. I went in, I sold it, I delivered it, I kept it alive through every problem. When the client found out that agent was still getting paid, they said, I don't even remember him. Who is that guy? A decade, 20% for a conversation that happened once. Now I get why people set it up this way. When you're starting, that first introduction feels like the whole game. Without it, you've got nothing and nobody. So handing over a slice feels cheap next to the alternative. I understand the pull, I've felt it myself, but here's the distinction almost nobody makes in the heat of the moment. There's a difference between rewarding what someone did and paying them forever for who they are. An introduction is an event. It happened one time on one day. You reward an event with a fee, a percentage of first-year revenue, a referral payment, a finder's fee, a licensing arrangement, something with a number on it and an end date attached. Equity is a completely different animal. Equity says, you are the reason this business exists today and every day from now on. That's not a thank you, that's a marriage. And you don't marry somebody because they held a door open for you one time. So here's the test. Before you hand over a single point of ownership, ask one question and answer it honestly. Going forward, does this person do the work? Do they service the client? Do they carry the relationship when it gets heavy? Do they put in real skin, real time, real risk, when it's hard and unglamorous and there's no applause? If the answer is yes, then talk about equity. That's a true partner, and a true partner earns their ownership every day. If the answer is no, if they handed you a name on a piece of paper and went back to their own life, then pay them for the name, generously. Pay a referral fee. Pay a healthy slice of year one. Make it worth their while so the relationship stays warm and they send you the next one. Then close the loop and own your company outright. Let me make this concrete because it depends never helped anybody build anything. Somebody brings you a client, you pay them 20% of the first year of revenue off that account. Clean. They get rewarded for the introduction in real money, fast. Then it ends. The relationship becomes yours. The work is yours. The upside is yours. And the next 10 clients you go out and earn on your own stay 100% yours, with nobody standing at the door with a handout. You can put that whole thing on one page. First year percentage, paid quarterly, then it terminates. No equity, no board seat, no claim on the company itself. The introducer wins, you win, and the thing you're building stays clean. Now, what if you've already done it? What if you're listening to this and you already gave half away to somebody who isn't in the building? You're not stuck. You just have the harder conversation in front of you. Most of these arrangements can be unwound or restructured if you go at it early and straight. The longer you wait, the more it costs you, in money and in the relationship itself. Year 1, it's a conversation. Year 5, it's a fight. Have the conversation, because I promise you this. The deal feels fine the day you sign it. It's year 3 that gets you. When you're doing all the work and watching half the profit, half of everything you built, walk out the door to someone who isn't even paying attention. Reward the event. Don't sell the future. If you're sitting on a deal like this right now, one where the structure just doesn't sit right in your gut, that's exactly the kind of thing we tear apart in the room. Not in theory, on your real numbers, your real agreement, your real situation. But you don't need us to start. You need to ask the question today before the ink is dry. So go pull up your agreements. Find the one you'd redo if you could, and fix the next one before you sign it.